30 years of the mullahs' rule in Iran has brought about nothing but suppression, poverty and corruption. The most basic human rights are violated systematically. To date, more than 120,000 people have been executed and above 500,000 people have been imprisoned for political reasons. A list of 20,000 victims of political executions was published recently by the resistance movement. In 1988, in a notorious crime against humanity, more than 30,000 political prisoners were massacred in a matter of a few weeks. Their unforgivable crime, opposition to the fundamentalist rule of the mullahs. The United Nations have condemned Iran in more than 50 different resolutions for gross violations of human rights. The horrific situation of human rights and the absolute suppression of any dissent prompted Iranian intellectuals to leave Iran through Kurdistan to Iraq. They ultimately settled in a camp just outside Iran's borders called Ashraf. The camp soon became known in Iran as the focal point of hope for the Iranian people. Aware that there are thousands of Iranians just across the border, Iranians inside the country were encouraged to stage demonstrations and protests in opposition to the mullahs' fundamentalist rule. Built on arid land in the middle of the desert, Ashraf is now a city with 4,000 residents. Many of them are former political prisoners and happen to be university graduates from Europe, the United States and Canada. They all have one thing in common. They are anti-fundamentalist Muslim intellectuals seeking a pluralist, peaceful, democratic and secular government. Viewing these dissidents as an existing threat, the Iranian regime began a major campaign to eliminate them. It did not take long before 13 Iranian jet fighters bombed the city. The mullahs' next move was to launch a massive missile attack, including Scuds. Ashraf residents restored it to its original state. A fully equipped hospital and 2 universities were also built, where most fields, including medicine, law, engineering, computer science and music, became a part of the curriculum. A concert hall was built where many musicians and artists, including an all-female orchestra, performed. On June 16, 2006, some 10,000 Iraqis representing Sunni, Shiite, Christian, Kurdish groups and tribes attended a gathering at Ashraf, where a declaration signed by 5,200,000 Iraqis was made public. It demanded that Iran stop its intention in Iraq and emphasized that Ashraf residents should enjoy refugee status in Iraq. Ashraf city has today emerged as the main focus of hope for both Iranians and Iraqis in the resistance against Islamic fundamentalism. Iran's fundamentalist regime, especially with its new hardline president, is trying to obtain nuclear weapons. This effort is in line with Khomeini's dream of establishing an Islamic empire. However, the regime considers Ashraf as the main barrier to achieving its objectives, which explains why Tehran stepped up its efforts to destroy Ashraf city and eliminate its residents. The supreme leader of the Iranian government, during a televised meeting with the Iraqi president on the 28th of February 2009, personally demanded the extradition of Ashraf residents. The Iraqi Prime Minister, Nouri al-Maliki, visited Tehran and promised to expel Ashraf residents. Without question, sending Ashraf city's 4,000 residents to Iran will result in a humanitarian disaster, since they will unquestionably be massacred if returned to Iran. Thousands, including human rights advocates, parliamentarians, jurists and ordinary citizens, have joined this call in Europe, the United States, Canada and Australia. To achieve this humanitarian goal, they have formed societies and held conferences demanding the Iraqi government respect the rights of Ashraf residents.
Lord Eden of Winton.
My Lords, is the Noble Lord Minister aware of the rather ominous directive of the Iraqi government of the 17th of June, which called for the removal of US troops, the replacement with Iraqi forces, and for the expulsion of the PMOI residents in Ashraf city? Does he realize that expulsion in those circumstances would almost certainly mean execution? This is an extremely serious situation, and can he assure the House that he will keep a very close eye on developments and get what guarantees he can secure from the Iraqi government to avoid what would otherwise become a humanitarian catastrophe?